If I had to start trading all over again, here's how I would do it. When I first started trading, one of the very first thing I did is I got myself a 100,000 demo trading account. Nobody told me different. Nobody told me the consequences of doing this because, hey, it's a free account. But one of the things I realized is a demo account is to help you build good habits. But I was living in a $500 apartment. God knows I didn't have $100,000 in the bank or even $50,000 to invest, not even $10,000 to invest in the market. So I had no business trading a $100,000 account. So what happened? I got used to making $20,000 in the trade, $10,000 in the trade. When in reality, all I had was $1,000 to invest. So my advice to myself, to you, if you're starting out, is to spend more time actually trading and building realistic expectation with what you actually have to invest, whether it is $500, $100, or $1,000. So if you're getting a demo account, try to go for the bare minimum because for a lot of traders, that's what they can afford. When I first realized that the Forex market was open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, I saw this as one of the greatest opportunity, pretty much the greatest opportunity of a lifetime. And what did I do? I traded around the clock, right? Some traders are very good at trading all sessions. At this point in my journey, I wasn't, right? What I should have done is focus on building mastery. I traded the London session, the New York session, and the Asian session. I live in Canada, guys. In Toronto, we are in the Eastern time zone. I have no business waking up at 3 a.m. trying to trade the London session, especially when I don't have the knowledge of how to do that. The only driving force is because the market is open. So my approach would have been slightly different, which is build mastery, focus on one particular session, learn how that session works. Because right now I trade one session and it gives me a lot of peace, it gives me a lot of clarity, it gives me a lot of confidence in my approach and just being able to come to the market and knowing that this is the only time of the day that I have to worry about. So that's something I wish I probably would have told my younger self. Focus less on support and resistance or supply and demand. What do I mean by this? When I first started trading, support and resistance or supply and demand, whatever you want to call it, that was the biggest focus. That was the biggest, in my opinion, support and resistance moved the market, right? That is what moves the market. So what I'm knowing differently now that money, liquidity moves the market, order flows moves the market. Those are things that I would have focused on a little bit more at an earlier stage because support and resistance is a pretty important confluence. And as a trader, you have to understand support and resistance. And I wish I understood support and resistance to the point where I understood it wasn't the reason price would go up or go down. Right? And that's the main thing I'm saying here. I'm not saying support and resistance is not an important aspect of trading or you should discard support and resistance, but understanding that liquidity, order flow, and understanding the concept of buyers and sellers, which I talked in one of my previous videos in terms of the concept that I mastered that allowed me to start winning more, was essentially this. So you can go watch that video and you can check that out and gain a little bit more perspective. But paying attention to the money and being able to follow it will actually allow you to gain a broader picture and also allow you to use support resistance more effectively. In reading Trading in the Zone, one of the things that Mark Douglas talked about is having a winning attitude and being able to build confidence within your system. And this is something that I found in my earlier trading days to be extremely difficult because I went from system to system. I had very little confidence in what I was doing in the market. So today, one of the things that I would have done differently is to build confidence in my system. And how do you build confidence in your system? Fail testing it, back testing it, trying to test your system in different market conditions and really putting in the work, treating trading ultimately as a craft, because that's really what it's going to take for you to be comfortable risking your money. And if you are risking your money, that's what you should be doing anyway, to make sure that you have one of the best systems out there, not for anyone in particular, but for you, that you understand, that is not complicated, that is simple enough for you to understand, right? So for me, it would have simply been that, right? I spent a lot of time hopping from one system to another, and trying to find the Holy Grail, only to realize that there is no such thing as a Holy Grail. All you have to do is understand a simple aspect of price action, and you can leverage that understanding and you can make money with it. That's all it is. That's simple, guys. In talking to my younger self, one of the things that I wish that I did as a trader when I was coming up is not ignoring psychology. When I first started trading, psychology was a huge word. My brain, I couldn't even spell it because it was so daunting. I felt like to talk about psychology, you needed to have a PhD in psychology, because as far as I was concerned, I didn't know anything about being able to manage my emotions. And unfortunately, a lot of traders still don't. One of the problems that I was experiencing was I thought that I could ignore my psychology, get better as a technical trader by learning the ins and outs of strategies and all that stuff, and that would fix the problem. Now, I'm a big believer in psychology, and in the channel, we talk a lot about psychology. Our slogan is where the mind meets the market. And the reason why that is because I know the hell that I went through because of poor psychology, right? My lack of ability to manage my emotions and to regulate myself in the heat of the moment. Trading is a very psychological game, guys. And if you don't have good psychology, you can't win. And that's one of the things that I wish I started to focus on sooner, because later on in my career, I worked with 2 trading psychologists, and that was very helpful for me. If you want to get more psychology tips, check out a previous video, which is a 5 psychology hacks that work every time. The video is going to pop up soon, and you can definitely give that a watch. It'll give you a little bit more of an in-depth look at some of the things that you can do to better improve your overall psychology. And thanks for watching, guys. On your way out, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. I'll be seeing you on the next video. Make sure you're out there living free. Peace.